morning everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, an overview of the Insurance Brokerage Framework and Insurance Placement DPS. My name is Sarah Jarvis and I'm the category buyer at YPO in Corporate and Financial Services, and I manage the Insurance Brokerage Framework and Insurance Placement DPS. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You have all joined this webinar in listening mode only, but please use the Q&A facilities at the bottom of the screen to ask any questions while I'm going through the presentation. At the end of the presentation, I will go and answer as many questions as I can, and for any questions that can't be answered, I will respond to you after this session. So, are you aware that we have two solutions in place for your broker insurance requirements? Solution 1, Insurance Brokerage Framework, and Solution 2, the Insurance Placement DPS. I'm going to provide an overview of both these contracts, followed by the support available from YPO to help you manage your further competition. Then I will provide an update on what's happening in the insurance market and finishing with lessons we've learned as a team by managing customers' further competitions. But first, a little bit of information about YPO. So YPO is a public sector buying organisation based in Wakefield, West Yorkshire. We were formed in 1974 by 13 local authorities based in Yorkshire and Lancashire, so the M62 corridor, and these same local authorities are still our members today. So we have a wide range of customers, which include educational establishments, local authorities, emergency services, charities, so any public sector organisation we will deal with. For our products and services, there is two sides to the business. First of all, the product side, and you've probably seen the array of catalogues that we produce every year. We have around 30,000 items in our portfolio, which includes pens, paper, cleaning products, and these items are all stocked in our warehouse. For the larger items, which include furniture, white goods, these are too large for us to stock in our warehouse, so these are delivered directly from our suppliers. Moving on to the service side, the area where I work. So the service side of the business is where frameworks are put in place for customers to call off, so to save you time in your procurement. So by us putting contracts in place, what we're doing is you've got access to approved suppliers, you'll have a detailed specification for direct award, and you'll have fit for purpose terms and conditions which have already been agreed and signed by the successful suppliers. In our portfolio, we've got over 100 frameworks, and these include things like insurance. We've got gas, street lighting, for example, but we've also got some fleet and HR solutions as well. And any profit made by YPO is returned to our members and customers every year. So moving on now to the Insurance Brokerage Framework and Insurance Placement DPS. So YPO, in partnership with ESPO and NEPO, with YPO being the lead authority, have put in place two solutions: the Insurance Brokerage Framework and the Insurance Placement DPS. These two solutions are award-winning, where our team won Initiative of the Year in 2020 at the National Insurance Awards. So this seems such a long time ago now since COVID, but the week before we were all shut down, we were lucky enough to go down to London to attend these awards and receive this trophy, which is a brilliant achievement for the partnership. And our vision is to be the vehicle of choice and centre of excellence for insurance procurement. So Solution 1, the Insurance Brokerage and Associated Services Framework. Insurance brokers play a key role in the procurement of insurance, as they are full-time specialists with professional skills in handling the insurance business and providing customers with advice on existing insurance programmes. The aim of the framework is to create better transparency and understanding around the use of an insurance broker and their appointment, so that fair competition and value for money can be generated when procuring insurance covers. The framework is designed to allow for a direct award of the contract to the chosen insurance broker, or to allow for a further competition exercise in order to evaluate insurance brokers' knowledge, market strength and service provision. There are 8 suppliers awarded onto the insurance brokerage framework, and I'm just going to give you an idea of what markets these suppliers operate in. So Aon, AJ Gallagher's, Marsh, Griffiths and Armour and Willis all provide all broker services to all public sector markets. GMG offer motor cover to all public sector markets. Brian Johnson provides motor cover for NHS, and Towergate provides broker services to educational and NHS customers. To support you in your journey of appointing an insurance broker, whether this is by a direct award or further competition, we have covered all of this in our broker service specification and linked it to the insurance placement DPS. Our brokerage specification covers things such as minimum service arrangements, insurance design process, transparency of the insurance placement process, financial stability of insurers, conflict of interest. So the complexity of the insurance market, its nature, strategic relationships formed between insurance brokers and insurers can lead to a conflict of interest, and transparency of the process is very important. There is a large section in our brokerage specification covering how to manage conflict of interest with a set guidance and expectation. Also in the specification, there is abnormally low pricing issues, ongoing account management. So this includes assistance if you deal with the break of the long-term agreement with the insurer, minimum arrangements prior to insurance annual renewal, and transition to new broker if changing. We can provide this information for you, the specification. So if you want to get the full specification for the brokerage, please get in contact with us and let us know. So when choosing your insurance broker, you need to assess qualities such as the quality. So on here, you're looking at the ability to service all areas of the business, ability to place niche or specialist covers, ability to challenge the status quo, innovation and effective program design. It's advice on risk management and access to training. Access to expertise. So this is the broker skills and experience, the quality of the service team, the claims and crisis response. Ability to service all areas of risk. So you're looking at the ability to place all types of covers, including niche and specialist. Account management. So it's the appropriate structure and ability to service your account. So who will manage your account and the ability to meet the reporting requirements and the responsiveness of the team. Insurance program. So you're looking at things like the ability to set out an insurance program that will offer the best value for money and protection for your organisation and culture. So the insurance is all about relationships. It's people business. So does their team fit with your team? So it's making sure that you've got a really, really good relationship. The terms and conditions reflect the requirements of the insurance market, and they cover the FCA's regulatory requirements, Insurance Act 2015 and the broker disclosure duties. Brokers are required to attach their disclosure documents in Appendix 2 of the call-off terms and conditions. Those disclosure documents tend to be called TOBA, Terms of Business Agreements, but you will find that not all brokers call it the same thing, but it means the same. So I've given a brief overview of the insurance brokerage and associated services framework. Now I'm going to move on to the insurance placement DPS. The insurance market is fluid, and insurers may join and leave the public sector market anytime depending on their own risk appetite and the soft or hard market conditions. Furthermore, insurers differ by the sectors to which they provide covers and by the types of cover they offer to public sector customers, with some specialist risks still requiring traditional broker exercise rather than undertaking an OSU compliant process. As such, to allow contracting authorities access to the wide-ranging insurers and to stimulate competition, YPO, in conjunction with the brokerage framework, established a dynamic purchasing system, or DPS for short, for the insurance placement. The process of utilising a DPS supports transparency and fair analysis of the market, as it must be completely electronic, providing a full audit history. So the DPS is a two-stage process. Firstly, all insurers who meet the selection of mandatory criteria will be admitted onto the YPO insurance placement DPS. And secondly, individual contracts are awarded during the second stage. In this stage, the contracting authority and its chosen insurance broker will invite all relevant insurers to participate in the further competition process and provide a submission. Currently, we've got 24 insurers on the insurance DPS. And as we say, suppliers can leave or join any time during the life of the contract. We can work with you prior to your renewal to try and get your incumbent insurer onto our DPS before you go out to the market for your further competition. But please be aware, please give us enough time to engage with the market, because it can take anything up to 6 months from when we first get in contact with the insurer to them actually providing the submission and getting awarded on. So please provide us not enough time for us to be able to do that for you. But we can do that. We will work with you to try and get as many of your incumbent insurers onto the DPS as we possibly can. Insurers on our DPS are categorised by the following. So the type of public sector organisation they wish to provide cover to. So this is areas such as local authorities, central government, police, fire, educational departments, you've got housing sector and third sector organisations, including charities. Also by the core classes of insurance. So the insurers, they wish to provide, they tell us the classes of insurance they wish to provide for each type of organisation. So this is like your liability, the property and construction, motor, travel, personal accident, specialist. And then finally, the specific classes of insurance. So by the specific classes of insurance, they wish to provide only to a named insurance broker acting on behalf of the contracting authority. So all this information here is available on a spreadsheet called the supplier matrix. So when you are going out for your renewals, if you get in contact with us, we can provide this information. It's a massive spreadsheet which lists all the insurers, and it will tell you the actual covers that they provide and the markets that they go for. So moving on to the support available from YPO. So whether it's the direct award or further competition, YPO can provide you with support from documentation to supporting you through the further competition. So the support available for the insurance brokerage. So these are the documents that we currently have available. So we've got the call of contract terms and conditions, and I did mention earlier about the terms and conditions. So the terms and conditions reflect the requirement of the insurance market as they cover the FCA regulatory requirements, the Insurance Act 2015 and the broker disclosure duties. Also, there's the broker service specification, which I've already gone through and highlighted some of the areas, but this document is available. So the specification covers minimum service requirements under the insurance brokerage framework. There's a pricing under the framework as well. So based on the framework price rate card and your service requirements, brokers will be able to provide you with an annual fixed fee if you're going out for a direct award. And we've also got some template documents available for you. So we've got the further competition template document. We've got quality and price evaluation documents to help you with your evaluation. And we've got award letters. So this includes the successful, unsuccessful letters, and then the confirmation of award as well. And then there'll be the, and then that's that one. For the insurance placement DPS, we don't have as many documentation as what we do for the brokerage, and the reason for this is majority of your documentation will be provided by your broker. But what we do have is the supplier matrix, which I mentioned earlier, where it goes through and lists the insurers and the types of insurance covers that that they cover. So at least you'll get an idea before you go out for market of which insurer can provide which cover. And also there is the letter of appointment. So this is to be completed after your 10-day standstill period has ended, and you need to complete it for the awarded insurers, send it to the insurers for them to insert their insurance policy. So YPO can manage your further competition on your behalf, and this is free of charge. And what this includes is advertising your further competition. So all we ask here is that you send us your documentation day before you want it advertising, and then we'll advertise it for you and notify that it's been advertised. We will manage the clarifications process for you, so we're taking a little bit of the admin side out of it for you. So instead of you receiving 20-30 email notifications a day, we will sort that out for you, and we will download all clarifications onto a clarification log, and then you will receive an email from us once a day. It's usually between 3 PM and 4 PM every day. So we will do that, and as the days go on, we just keep adding to that clarification log. Once your further competition is closed, we will download the submissions for you, and you will receive a number of emails from us. So the first one will be that you've received X number of submissions, and we will list the actual insurers, or the suppliers, sorry, that have provided a submission. Then you will receive a number of emails with the submission per supplier. And then finally, once all submissions have been sent, we will then send you an email just letting you know that all submissions have been sent. Can you please confirm when you've received all submissions? The chances are you will receive that last email before you receive majority of the submissions, and that's just down to the size of the emails that we're sending with the submissions. So then you will evaluate, and once you've evaluated and done the letters, we will then award your further competition via our portal. And then because we've run your further competition, we can then do the contract award notice on Contracts Finder for you, and there's a template available for you to do this. So as I've mentioned, we do a lot, but the things that we don't do is we don't answer clarifications, and we don't do evaluation. Alternatively, customers can be given temporary access to the YPO's e-tendering portal. So what this means is we will have to create your further competition on our portal, but then you can manage it. So you can advertise your further competition, manage your clarifications. We will have to unseal the bid, but then you'll have access to download the submissions. Alternatively, you can use your own portal. But one thing you do need to be aware of is if you're going to use your own portal for insurance placement, please be aware that we have heard before that other customers that have used their own portal, they don't get as many submissions back as if they use the YPO. And the reason for this is insurers are quite lazy at responding and accessing, setting up new profiles on new e-tendering portals. So it's just for you to be aware that we would prefer you to use YPO, but we do understand that some customers have to use their own portal. So please be aware that you might not get as many submissions back as if you did use the YPO. Alternatively, Any customers that use Proactis, they can actually get access to YPO's framework directly. Now, if you want to go down this route, please get in contact with us at insurance@ypo.co.uk and we can send you the step-by-step guidance of how to do this. So we're going to move on to what's happening in the marketplace, and unfortunately it's not good news. So the insurance market at the minute is in a hardening market, and it has been in a hardening market for the past 18 months. So what does this mean? What are we seeing? So the first thing we're seeing is prices is increasing for majority of covers, but especially on property and casualty. However, there is good news for motor cover. Because no one's been travelling for the past 16 months, there's been very few accidents, so the actual motor cover side is actually having price reductions. 2, there's less insurers in the marketplace. Only last week I was notified by one of the insurers that the decision had been taken not to accept any new UK business. And 3, insurers are requesting more risk information than ever before. So this is resulting in an increase of clarifications being asked by insurers. So you need to make yourself aware that on average, customers are receiving between 150 to 250 clarifications for the further competition. And that's, insurers are just asking anything at the minute, and they're requesting more risk information. So you just need to be aware of it, that there will be a large increase in clarifications being asked. And unfortunately, this is going to continue for the rest of this year and next year as well. So there's no good news in the short term. So what lessons have we learned? So first of all, time. Make sure you give yourself enough time. YPO recommends giving that you go out to the market for a minimum of 6 weeks, so insurers have enough time to respond to your tender. And also with this 6 weeks, because there's a large increase in clarifications, it also gives you enough time to respond to those clarifications. As I've already mentioned, on average, we are seeing between 150 to 250 clarifications per further competition. So there is a lot of work needed. So make sure you can give yourself and insurers enough time to, one, respond to those clarifications, but also the insurers have got enough time at the end to provide a decent submission for you. Engage with your broker at least 6 months prior to going out for your insurance requirements. We are seeing at the minute further competitions being advertised with more appendices and supporting documentation. So your brokers are trying the best to reduce the number of clarifications. So like I say, work with your broker as soon as you possibly can. Usually we do see a reduced number of further competitions from April to November. This year that's not happening. We are constantly advertising customers' further competitions. Only last week I had 3 calls with customers that are looking to go out in September for their April renewal. So customers this year are getting a lot more organised and they are aware of what's happening in the marketplace. So please, again, it goes back to the first one, make sure you give yourself enough time. And finally, to increase competition, look at going out in lots rather than as a package deal. There are very few insurers in the marketplace that will be able to provide a quote for all of your insurance requirements. But if you break it down by lot, you are increasing your competition. And who knows, you might be lucky enough to get an actual reduction in price in one of your covers. So these two solutions have been in place now for the last 2 years, and we have worked really hard with customers and suppliers, especially the brokers, and we have got some really good feedback. So I thought I would share the customer and the supplier feedback. So the customer feedback is from one of our member authorities that went out via the insurance brokerage middle of last year, and then did the insurance placement DPS for the April renewals. And it's really nice to get some positive feedback. I will be sharing these slides, so you will have time to go back over and look at them, but it's just nice to be able to share this information with you. And then also on the suppliers, it's nice to get feedback from the suppliers to know that actually the work that we do, they really do appreciate it. So I've come to the end of the slideshow. I have noticed that we have got a couple of questions, so I'm just going to go and have a look at those. I won't be a minute. So, right, Karen, your first one where you struggle to identify the brokers. What I will do is I will provide a copy of these slides to everybody that's attended today, but I will also send over to you, Karen, the supplier contact list as well. So at least then you've got their details to get in contact with you. If you need anything else, if you drop me an email on insurance@ypo.co.uk, and then we'll be able to help you. So another question we've got is, can you use broker agreement without having to use the DPS for insurance? So yes, you can go out and appoint a broker and you don't have to use the DPS. There is some things where you will just deal with a broker for some requirements. So yes, you can. So I've also got another question. How long does it take to onboard a broker? So under the brokerage framework, we can't appoint any new brokers, but under the insurance placement DPS, if it's regarding insurers, it tends to take anything from 4 to 6 months from us first getting in contact with an insurer to actually getting them to submit a response. And it is down to the red tape at the insurance end as to how long it takes, and they have to get sign off and stuff. So it does take a long time to actually appoint an insurer onto the DPS. But regarding the broker, as it's a framework, no new brokers can join during the life of the contract. I was just going to say, there's another question coming. 2 seconds. So how long does it take to identify a broker? Is this for you? Right, what I think I will do regarding this last question, if you get in contact with me direct, and what we can do is we can arrange a call and we can go through it, because there's 2 options, either direct award or further competition. So what I will do is, if you get in contact with me and send an email to insurance@ypo.co.uk, and I will arrange a meeting and we will talk it through. I hope that's okay. So as I said, I will provide this recording. It has been recorded, and if anybody's got any other questions, just get in contact with us. We are here to help you. We're here to provide as much support as you possibly need when you're going through your brokerage and your insurance requirements. I'd like to thank you for attending today's webinar, and I hope you all have a good day. Thank you for joining me. Bye.